Be elite, not average. Average is easy. Become more explosive, more athletic, more confident. Bigger, faster, stronger programs win competitions. There is no secret sauce. Exploder Bar.
Here today with Brandon Hickman of the Dallas Jesuit Rangers. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
You are welcome. So, graduation coming up here in a couple of weeks. It means we're winding up all our spring activities. You've been seeing your kids out playing in other sports. You've been seeing them in the weight room. You've been on spring ball. How's the spring going?
That's going great. I mean, we have over 160 kids out for spring football, which is the most we've had since I've been the head coach here. I guess this will be my 13th year. So a lot of kids playing, a lot of kids excited. The energy of the practices have been really good. Been very impressed with that. And a lot of good competition on the field. So we've stayed fairly healthy. A few nicks and bruises. You know, we've been going for 3 weeks, but we have our spring game next Thursday night. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. Now, if you will, kind of walk us through your team for the fall. Who are you losing to graduation? Who might fill in those roles? Who you bringing back in the roles they may fill?
Well, we lost a lot of linemen to graduation, our offensive line. I lost 5 seniors, but I've got some guys that are having a good spring, improving in that area. I think we'll be okay up front. We have a lot of depth, more depth at receiver than we've had, but a lot of new faces offensively. Really, we have one returning starter with our Z receiver, Cooper Cutler, and but a lot of guys that played last year minutes. But as far as starters, he's a returning starter. Got a really good backfield. Feel good about Zane Williams and Ryan Englehart. Call them Thunder and Lightning. One of them's bigger, more of a plugger. The other one's a little bit faster, but they're both really good players. Will be juniors. And then defensively, we've really got a lot of kids back. I want to say we've got 6 returners on defense, starters. I feel like our defense is fast in the secondary. We're going to be really good in the box. I've got a defensive end, Cade Gill, who's had a very good spring. He'll be a junior. He was the defensive MVP in the district last year as a sophomore, defensive MVP. And then we've got, also some returning veterans in the secondary that we feel really good about. So, and then we've got a couple of baseball guys coming out. Our baseball team plays tonight, Hebron, in the area round of the playoffs. So we've got a couple of kids. We got a shortstop who's a really good athlete that's going to be playing some DB and receiver for us. But yeah, just all in all, it's been a really good spring, very productive. We're really excited about this fall.
All right. Now, kind of walk us through your district. Who's in your district and what do you expect to see from them this fall?
Well, I mean, we have Highland Park, who entered the district last year. So we've got a 9-team district, which is unique. I don't know if I really love that. You have 2 9-district games, and then you're jumping right into district play. And so Highland Park, adding them to the mix last year was a lot of fun. We didn't play great. They also have a very good team. Coach Allen, obviously, his record speaks for itself, and he's a great man. And we didn't play well, and they got after us. But we'll get to play those guys this year at SMU, which will be fun. We'll be the home team. We can't fit that many people in our stadium. Last year, I think Coach Allen said there's 12,000 people at the game. So it's become a really cool rivalry. And then you got Lake Highlands. That's been a great rivalry. I think in the last 3 years, it was probably a 7-point game total. They beat us in 2020, and then we were able to beat them in 2021 and 2022. But it was 3 points and 1 point, and I think 2020 was 3 points. So that's been a lot of fun. Lonnie Jordan obviously left, but he was a lot of fun to work with alongside in our district. And then you got Pierce is doing really well. They're going to be a good team this year along with Burtner. I mean, you got a list of teams. I mean, Irving MacArthur last year was tough. So there's other teams in our district that are very good, that really prepare you for the playoffs, I believe, and it'll be very challenging for us.
Now, I've been talking to a lot of coaches at public schools and asking this question, but I want to get your perspective coming from a private school. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing high school athletics in Texas right now?
The biggest challenge?
Yes, sir.
High school athletics. I don't know. I mean, just as far as, for us with games, and people say this all the time, we talked about it, our realignment, or not realignment, but our officials meeting the other day, is officials, the shortage of officials. I think that's a challenge. We had an instance last year where they asked, "Hey, coach, can y'all play on a Wednesday night?" And we're like, "Well, really?" With our JV, because there weren't enough officials for Thursday night games. So I think that's a little bit of a problem. Hopefully, we can get it under control. I don't know if we, pay them more or what we have to do. But my concern, I guess my question to them was, why is there a shortage? Is it something we're doing as coaches? Because obviously we can please our displeasures at times, but we also really appreciate what our officials do. And everybody who's going to make mistakes, everybody makes calls. We try not to blame the officials on anything. And his answer to me was really the parents. That's been one of the reasons why there's been a shortage. Just some of the way that some of them have acted in at games, or fall officials out to their car or whatever that may be. So we really try to address that with our own parents, which are great, but we try to address it every year, that where everybody's going to make mistakes. We're not going to get the calls at times, and let's not blame officials. So I think if we can treat the officials a little bit better, hopefully we can get more, maybe pay them better. So I think that's going to be a problem if we don't really get that under control. And I really don't know the answer to getting more officials. But that's all I can really think of.
All right. Let's try and go from big picture to small picture and learn a little bit about Brandon Hickman. What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
Well, there's probably two. One I'm thinking right now off the bat would be Whataburger on a Friday night after a game. I live in McKinney, so I live 30 miles north of Jesuit. We've been up there for 20 years, and for some reason my truck just veers right when I make that exit to the Whataburger. And typically I get the same thing every Friday night after the game. It's usually midnight. Come home, watch film. So I don't need to do that late at night like that. Then the other I'd say would be, I got a smoker a few years ago, and I'm in the backyard a lot, especially when COVID hit. That's just something I like to do. I enjoy cooking. But the problem is, I'll cook a rack of ribs. I'll probably eat the whole rack. So, that's probably a guilty pleasure. Probably two of them that I can think of off the top of my head. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for your time today, and best of luck as you wrap up the school year and move into the 23 season.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on.
Be elite, not average. Average is easy. Become more explosive, more athletic, more confident. Bigger, faster, stronger programs win competitions. There is no secret sauce. Exploder Bar.